you so much for tuning in. Today's video is a Dollar Tree wood wall shelf, and I love this. Not only is it super duper sturdy, but it looks really cool, and you can complete this project using Dollar Tree materials, or you can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever store you want, and buy wood, cut it down to the dimensions you want, and do it that way. It is totally up to you, but I really hope that you enjoy this video and stick around by subscribing to this channel. Once you hit that subscribe button, we instantly become best friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
And please hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a video. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with 12 of these bamboo cutting boards from Dollar Tree. They also sell them in other dollar stores as well, but if you can't find them, you can always have wood cut down to the dimensions you want. This is the measurement for this. This is the length, and this is the width, in case you were curious. And as you can see, they line up pretty nice. None of them are warped, so you don't have to worry about them being crooked, which is something kind of common with Dollar Tree items. So I'm going to place one against the wall and one underneath, and put some wax paper beneath it because I'm going to be using wood glue at first. Now I'm not stopping at wood glue because these are a little bit heavy, so you don't want to trust something like wood glue or E6000 to hold this up on your wall. So I'm going to make sure that these are nice and aligned. And if you have clamps, you can definitely use that. If you do not, just put some pressure and make sure that you let this dry completely before moving on. I'm going to wipe off the excess glue because I have no intention on staining this. And then I'm going to complete all of my L pieces. Because I'm using 12 of these, I'm going to have 6 L pieces, and you can arrange them however you want. You can use more than this if you want, but this is how I wanted it. I wanted it in a row of 3. So the top is only going to be 1 L piece, the bottom is going to be 2, and the last one is going to be 3. So I'm going to make sure that I let this dry extremely well because I don't want this to fall apart when I am adding my nails, because that is what we're going to do next. To help it dry, I did put it on its side just to make sure that the bottom isn't staying wet. And as you can see, they are nice and dry and ready to go. So now I'm going to put it on the edge of my table to help hammer this in. And I'm going to use nails from Dollar Tree. Make sure that you're hammering it right there where both pieces meet. This picture kit has some pretty small nails. You don't want to use anything too big because it will split your wood. This is a small piece. And then I'm just going to hammer the edges. To be completely honest with you, this part is time consuming. I eventually ended up using my brad nailer, which was a lot quicker. But if you don't have that, of course you don't have to do this. Just make sure that you have a bit of patience. So this one I am going to finish off with just regular nails, and then the other 5 pieces I am going to do with my brad nailer because as you can see here, my nail is going all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this one more time because I know some people fast forward through tutorials. Please do not be intimidated. You do not have to use a brad nailer. I know not everyone has a brad nailer, so you can continue to do all of this with just a hammer and nails from your hardware store or from Dollar Tree. This was just a lot easier and faster for me. But make sure that you're not skipping adding nails to this, whether it's with a brad nailer or doing it by hand with a hammer. Make sure that you're adding nails because E6000 or wood glue is just not enough to hold this in place. Now, if you're only adding a few very light pieces, you can try it, but I feel a lot more comfortable knowing that this is actually secure and in place with these nails, but totally up to you. Now that I have everything in place and all 6 of my pieces are joined together with nails, I'm actually going to put some of these pieces together. So the first row is only going to have 1, and this is what it should look like, and then the second piece should have 2. I'm going to join those 2 pieces with some of the Gorilla Wood glue, and if you have a clamp, again, use that. If not, you can use some tape while it dries. Make sure that it dries really well, and then you can either use your hammer and nail to bound that together, or you can use your brad nailer if you have that, which is what I used. In one of these pieces, I did end up splitting my wood, and it sucks, but I did manage to get the nail out, and then I went ahead and secured every other piece Once you have this all done, you should be able to fully lift up these pieces without them bending at all. So you have the top piece, which is 1, the second piece, which is 2 L pieces together, and the third piece. And here's my husband modeling everything. So 1, 2, and 3. So to put them up on the wall, I'm going to use these sawtooth hangers. This is what they use for the Target shelves, and I thought it would be great to use on mine. But you can also use something like this. If you know the name of this, definitely put it in the description. But you can actually turn this, so this might be convenient, but will show. To put this on to my piece, you just have to nail it in. Be very, very careful because, again, you can still split your wood. And I used tweezers to hold my little screw. They're super duper tiny. So I'm just going to hold my screw with a set of tweezers that I don't mind breaking if I hit a little too hard. And then I put it in place. So even though this is at an angle, because this is a sawtooth, once you put your nail in, it's going to hold in place. But like I said, if you do not feel secure, you can add more or you can add the other hook. Totally up to you. So for the top piece, I ended up putting 2. Make sure that they're facing down because you want the nail to grip onto those little saw pieces. And then you'll see where I placed the other ones. For the top row, I used 2. For the middle row, I ended up using 2 as well, but of course you can use more, and I put those at the end, but of course you can put some on the inside. And on the last piece, I used 4, but of course you can put 1 on every edge. To place it on the wall, my husband used a leveler to make sure that it was nice and straight and made his marks. We did end up using small nails for this. These are super tiny. We asked our landlord if we can use them, and we don't get charged for small little holes like this, just anything bigger than a pencil. Please do not try to put this on your wall with command strips. Command strips are amazing, but this will rip right off of your wall. This is actually pretty heavy. So once he had that in place, as you can see, he's setting it in and it holds perfectly. Always check more than once if you are still leveled because it is pretty easy to add a screw into the wrong place. So we just kept checking over and over again, and then to add the second piece, he did the same thing, made sure that it was leveled, made his markings, and then placed his nails. You can see the little sawtooth hanger on the side, so it was pretty easy to add his marks, and then he placed the shelf. So you can place yours however you want. You can do the top with the row of 3 or mix them up. It's up to you, but I think this came out amazing. And in the end, I had a really sturdy shelf for under $14. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you on the next one.